So the people that shut down, what do we think of these individuals? Like people that shut down through conflict. Is it an immaturity? Is it a lack of communication? Like
Like how they shut down. Like, of course, if you try to talk, that's the point. Like, that's the goal. But I think if you're just trying to shut it down, then you're not even the type of person that even try to, like, let the other person or communicate to the other person. Mm-hmm. Don't do that, because that's how things get messy. Because now you're just leaving the other person dry or in the wind, and then things go left or right because you're not communicating. And that other person might still be trying to communicate with you, and you're just ignoring them. Don't do that. Big red flag. Because the whole time they're like, I didn't do nothing. But that's the problem. You didn't do nothing.
So I guess you didn't do anything. You didn't try. Yeah. So leading into basically being married but single, I think that this is something that we hear where individuals are married, have been married for a while, and it gets to a point where they become two separate individuals. I think we used to see it in Haitian churches where Mata Entel drives her own car and Monsieur Entel drives his own car. There's instances where these individuals actually sleep in different bedrooms. So like married but single. How do you for one, let me ask, is that healthy?
It's not.
Which
like
one?
To have that separate life in regards to separate bedrooms, driving to the same place in separate cars. Like, is that
what's the reason?
Is that or is that
to be honest,
running away from
I think those are the type of people. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. I think those are the type of people that like just settled for each other. I don't think that those are the people that like, with the first 90 days, 30 days, 60 days, whatever it was, that they actually got married. I feel like it was the people that waited 8 years to get married that end up in that situation.
I think that each relationship is different. The sleeping in separate bedrooms, I think it's weird, but there's cultures that do that, and that is a normal practice for them.
What cultures?
Indian cultures, they have separate bedrooms. They have separate beds. If they're in the same, if their house allows for them to have separate bedrooms, they'll have separate bedrooms.
Is this, and I'm not to cut you off, is this also the households where they have like multiple wives?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay.
Though,
sometimes they have different houses like that.
Yeah, I don't think it's a polygamous household. No, I just think that that's a normal custom for them, because some people see, some relationships, some cultures see sex as the only time I'm having sex is when I am wanting to procreate, and that's when we should be in the same bedroom together. And right, is to have children or to have sex, and once they're done having sex, they go back to their own separate space. That is normal for their culture, abnormal for other people's culture. But I don't think, if that's not normal for your culture and you're doing it, yes, that's weird. But that is something that there's some Jewish cultures as well. They have separate bedrooms. That's just the norm for them.
Is that running from a problem, or is that a solution? Like,
it might be a solution. Some of them are in happy marriages. It works for them, right?
It works for them. It's not an issue.
Yeah.
I asked her. I used to work with a lady, and I've seen her and her husband. They sleep in two separate rooms, and I asked, I'm like, well, why do you sleep in a separate room? He snore too loud, like I can't sleep.
It works for them, right?
Yeah, they don't love each other.
Yeah,
they're not good for each other. It's just,
man. Jib be fighting his sleep.
He can't sleep.
Like, yeah, people drive separate cars.
When they go out together, you know that's him, and you know that's her, because they dress alike together. Like, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, and like, people driving in separate cars as well. I can look at my parents. My parents go to church in two separate cars.
If one want to stay, one want to leave.
Amen. And when my mom and dad drive together, it's a problem for them, because my mom's like, let's go, and my dad's like, I got somebody else to talk to. And yeah, so it's not as though they have issues with each other at all. They just, it just makes sense for them to take two cars.
Me personally, I look at it as being a problem. I understand that there are multiple cultures that this may be predominant, like it may be something that's a norm in those cultures, but I personally feel like if two people get married, going to sleep in two separate bedrooms by no means should ever be an option. I feel like that is you guys not dealing with a problem and your solution to it is the separation. It's my opinion at the end of the day. And I feel like, I think there are more problems that are being left unaddressed when we separate like that. And the driving in two different cars, I can understand, like in certain situations, especially with a pastor that has to talk to all the feet they're after. Wife want to get home, as y'all say, the Sundays,
or just a regular person who just wants to talk to everybody at the church.
Yeah, but I think that their compromise can come in.
You sit in the car and wait for her for 40 minutes?
He can stop talking and let's go.
No. Why am I going to ruin my fun for... Because you want to go home and watch football. Take your car.
That's what I'm saying. So there's certain situations that I guess for the driving separate cars to the same location, like I can understand why, because y'all are two different people. But I don't see any reason that two people should be sleeping in two different bedrooms if we are married. I feel like there's a problem that was there that caused this. Snoring is an excuse because there's so many different things that people can buy nowadays. You can see a doctor, you can get the little strips. I feel like, and what's crazy, like to add on to her point, snoring is actually one of the top reasons that people get divorced, which is wild. Yeah.
If you're losing sleep is actually the real reason because they lost sleep.
They put snoring on that. But yeah, so that's me personally. I don't feel like sleeping in different bedrooms is ever a solution. My opinion. How you feel?
Sleeping in the same bed?
Sleeping in different beds.
Different beds.